How to wholesale real estate without cold calling. Now, cold calling is probably one of the most effective ways to get wholesale deals, but it wasn't my first way of getting my first wholesale deal. And so in today's video, I'm going to break down the different ways that you can wholesale real estate without cold calling. Now, cold calling can be a little bit daunting, especially for beginners, because you are scared of rejection, or you don't know exactly what to say, or you don't know how to handle a response, right? Because people are not predictable all the time, right? I think after a while, people get predictable if you're in this business for a while. But in your beginning stages, you're nervous about, okay, they're asking me something that I haven't heard from any of these videos or what I've been learning. How do I answer this question? And so it could be nerve-wracking for a lot of beginners. And so there are different avenues in order for you to wholesale real estate that doesn't involve cold calling. Now, about calling sellers, you cannot avoid talking to a seller. Yes, if you build this big business and you stepped out of it, you have employees talking to people. But in your beginning stages, when you're getting this business up and running, you're going to have to eventually talk to a seller. So there's a difference between talking with a seller and cold calling, right? You will always have to talk with a seller. Either you're meeting them in person, or you're virtually wholesaling and you have to lock up the deal, or you hire somebody on your team to lock up your deal. So calling will occur. What are the different ways that you can wholesale real estate without cold calling? So the way I found my very first wholesale deal was actually through direct mail. And people are saying direct mail is dead. People don't use it anymore, but it's still effective. And the crazy thing is that a lot of your deals are going to come from people that actually check their mail and actually look at their mail, right? Because the majority of homeowners are older people, right? And they like that classic marketing technique. It's not invasive, right? Like a text or a call, and they don't have to necessarily respond to it. When I first started, I just tried to do texting a little bit, but then I understood my area. You know, I'm in the South, and people like the hospitality. They're big on face-to-face interactions, and they also are traditional, right? And so I cater to my area. Now, if you live in a high-tech, young, vibrant city, maybe direct mail may not be as effective. It could possibly be effective, but I think direct mail is one of those marketing techniques that you need to include when you scale your business and you start doing all these different marketing channels. That direct mail has to be part of it. With direct mail, I started sending out mail. I pulled a list of 1,000 homeowners, and I think the list was vacant, or it wasn't even vacant. It was high equity homeowners, right? They actually lived in the property, and I made sure they owned it for 10 years plus. So I was trying to cater or look for an older couple that needs to downsize, or they need to move, or they don't need a larger house or whatever. They just needed to sell their home for whatever reason. And so that's the list I targeted. It was about 1,000 leads, and I mailed that list 7 or 8 times in a row. I just hammered that same list. I don't know if that is the best effective way to direct mail. Maybe doing 7 different lists would have been just as good or even better. I don't know if I saw something online, but that's what I did, and that gave me my first deal. And I think the assignment was for $15,000, but I ended up paying the closing costs, so it ended up being around $13,500, which is great for your first deal. And so I didn't have to cold call, right? All they did was there was a number on the card, right? And so this is the sauce, you all, how not to cold call. And by the way, you all, subscribe to this channel. A lot of you all watch my videos but are not subscribed. Like this video and comment down below. Now, what I did was I put a number in the cold call in the postcard, right? And I said, hey, call this number. No one is going to answer. You know, there's no pressure on you, Mr. or Mrs. Seller. Call this number, listen to the voicemail, and leave your information if you're interested, right? So I didn't come across as super salesy, and I think people who don't like cold call don't want to come across as super salesy. And so that's where direct mail can work. Now, the con with direct mail is that it's expensive. So a lot of people, especially beginners, don't have that amount of capital to invest in direct mail, right? And so they go to cold calling. That's why I still think cold calling is probably one of the best ways, especially for beginners, to get started. But if you have some capital, maybe you are in your early 30s or you're in your 30s and you have a full-time job and you want to do this on the side, but you don't want to cold call 6 to 9. Or you have some family responsibilities and duties to do at home, you can easily just set campaigns out to send out mailers, right? And they can call, it goes straight to voicemail. You listen to a voicemail later. Oh, they're interested. Let me call them back. Boom, you get them under contract. And just like that, you have a deal. That's one of the best ways I see people finding deals without cold calling. Now, eventually, yes, once they call and you see that they're interested, you have to call them back. But now this is not a cold lead. This is a warmer lead because the cold reach out was the postcard, right? So essentially now it's a warm lead. Now, from there, you put the property under contract or you visit the house, and I have a ton of videos on this channel on how to do that. Or the other way that you can wholesale real estate without cold calling is through texts and voicemails. Now, I think those are effective, and people text, right? Older people text, they leave voicemails, they do different things by sending out texts. It's once again similar to a postcard where if they're interested, they'll respond. If not, they won't respond. Same with voicemail. Now, the only difference is I know there are more rules around texting and voicemails. And also, I don't know about you all, but when I receive a text or a voicemail from a random person, it just feels more invasive, as I said earlier in this video. A postcard, advertisement, and mail, that's common. You're used to it. It's whatever. But when you think about it, would you rather having someone know your exact personal address where they send you a postcard, or a text where they know your personal cell number? Which one would you rather have? Let me know down below. But yeah, so in the same way that you have to eventually talk to the people with direct mail, you have to do that with texts and voicemails. You have to pick up your phone and say, hey, I saw that you are interested. Let's set up a meeting. Let me go see the house. And you can get more information about the property. Now, another thing about direct mail, text, and voicemail is that you're not asking for a ton of information. You're asking a simple question. Are you interested in selling your property? And that's it. So when people would call the number that I had on the postcard, all I would say is, hey, my name is Matthew. Are you the owner of this property? I see that you own, I don't even know if I ask. I say, hey, I see that you own this property. If you have any other properties you're interested, let me know. But I don't even think I said that. I just said, you're the owner. Hey, I see that you own this property. Are you interested in selling? If so, give me your name, your number, and just a brief message. Or I just said, just give me your name and number, and I'll call you back. I think those were the only things I asked for. And I think that was a really good response. Now, I think the most effective way is to implement all the marketing channels, PPC, TV commercials, and all of them, and have that wholesale business up and running. And I think wholesaling is a great business because I know a lot of investors, they have their rentals, they have their flips, but their cash cow is their wholesaling business. And I know this is kind of off from what I was saying or talking about, but I think, when you're growing your real estate empire and you're starting with wholesaling, this is one of the best ways to get started. It's in real estate is wholesaling because you can get that cash, you can get that revenue into your business. Now, let me know down below, what other marketing techniques do you like, or what is a marketing technique you feel as a beginner you would want to do that wouldn't feel too pressure or you think you can work with? And another thing is that you all need the pressure. You need to feel as though, wow, I'm working hard, or I need to get over this hurdle. So I don't advise people to avoid cold calling because I think it it trains you and it grows you and matures you. You go through those battle scars of getting rejected, and that's important and imperative to your wholesale real estate journey. So don't always avoid it. Like I think beginners need to actually do it, but if you just don't like it for whatever reason, okay, cool. But don't avoid it because you're scared or nervous. Because if those are the feelings, those feelings will dominate every other aspect of this business. All right? Be sure to like, comment down below, and I'll talk to you all later.